Before you scroll away, listen. This may be the moment Jesus touches your heart forever. What if I told you that the very pain, the delays, the closed doors, and even the people who walked away were never accidents? What if every single piece of your life, every heartbreak, every opportunity, every struggle was being aligned right now by God for a future you can't yet imagine? Most people miss this alignment because they're too focused on the confusion instead of the bigger picture. But in the next few minutes, you're going to see why nothing has been wasted, why this season is so urgent, and how God is preparing to shift you into abundance, purpose, and destiny. Stay with me because the pieces that never made sense are about to come together right before your eyes. God allows seasons of breaking before seasons of building. What often feels like chaos is not disorganization at all, but a pruning process. In nature, when a gardener cuts back branches, it might look violent to an untrained eye, but the pruning is necessary to prepare the tree for greater fruitfulness. In the same way, God allows certain doors to close, relationships to shift, and opportunities to disappear so that the weight of what is ahead will not break you. Many times, the greatest disappointments are actually divine alignments in disguise. Every setback carries hidden direction. What looks like rejection is often protection. When you did not get that job, God may have been shielding you from an environment that would have drained your purpose. When a relationship dissolved, God may have been moving someone out of your life who could not walk with you into your destiny. These painful breaks are not punishments. They are preparations. They strip away false supports so that when God aligns the next chapter, you are not standing on shaky ground. Think about the times when you tried to force things to work. You poured energy into relationships that were already dying, careers that were already crumbling, or habits that were draining you. And still, they fell apart. Why? Because God will not allow what is not aligned with your destiny to survive indefinitely. The breaking is an act of mercy, even though it does not feel that way in the moment. But God never leaves the story at the breaking point. After clearing the ground, He begins orchestrating divine connections. These connections are rarely obvious at first glance. They may appear as small encounters, subtle conversations, or unexpected partnerships. Yet behind them is the hand of God arranging people like pieces on a chessboard. At key moments in life, God sends individuals who carry what you need to move forward. It might be knowledge you lack, resources you do not yet have, or encouragement to push through a difficult season. These people may not look the way you expect. Sometimes the helpers God sends come in humble packaging, and if you are too focused on appearances, you might miss them. Alignment requires discernment, the ability to recognize when God has placed someone in your life for a reason beyond what you can see immediately. These connections are part of a divine network. Like threads woven into a tapestry, each relationship intersects at the right time to form a greater picture. Some of these people will walk with you for a lifetime, others for only a short season. Both are equally important. The temporary friend who encourages you at a low point might be just as significant as the long-term mentor who helps shape your purpose. The key is to honor every connection without clinging to them longer than God intends. Even when the right people and the right resources come into place, timing is the glue that binds the alignment together. God's timing is not bound by human impatience. He knows when you are ready, and He knows when the environment around you is ready. Just as a seed planted in winter will not sprout, opportunities released before their time will not flourish. Alignment happens when your preparation meets God's perfect moment. Waiting is one of the hardest parts of alignment. In the waiting, you question whether God has forgotten you. You wonder if you missed your chance or if His promises are delayed indefinitely. But waiting is not wasted. Waiting refines character. Waiting teaches discipline. Waiting aligns your desires with God's heart so that when the door finally opens, you walk through it with wisdom instead of recklessness. Many people give up just before their alignment manifests. They quit praying, stop pursuing their goals, or retreat into despair when the waiting stretches too long. But God often moves in what looks like the final hour. The reason is simple. Breakthroughs aligned with destiny are meant to build faith, not pride. If you could force it on your own timeline, you might mistake the blessing for your own achievement instead of recognizing it as divine orchestration. This is why God prepares not only circumstances, but also character. Alignment is never just external. It is also internal. Wealth without wisdom becomes waste. Influence without integrity becomes corruption. Opportunity without discipline becomes disaster. Before God aligns the resources, He aligns your inner world. The pain you endured, the lessons you learned, the mistakes you overcame, these are all training sessions for the life of abundance you are being prepared to handle. Think about Joseph in the Scriptures. Betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and thrown into prison. Yet every step was an alignment. Each breaking season was shaping his character. Each connection, whether with a prison guard or a fellow prisoner, was a divine thread in the larger design. When the time came, Joseph was positioned not only to handle wealth and authority, but to use it with wisdom and mercy. His life became the embodiment of divine alignment. What others meant for harm, God used for good. Your story is no different. God is aligning lessons with opportunities, mistakes with wisdom, and relationships with timing. Nothing is wasted. Every tear becomes water for the seeds of your future. Every failure becomes training for success. Every delay becomes preparation for acceleration. The alignment is not only about where you are going, but about who you are becoming. Wealth and purpose are not separate lanes. They are intertwined. True wealth is not just money in the bank. It is alignment of resources, health, relationships, and spiritual clarity. God aligns wealth with purpose so that abundance flows through you, not just to you. The money you earn, the influence you gain, the skills you develop, they are meant to serve a higher calling. Without that alignment, abundance turns into emptiness. With it, abundance becomes impact. There is urgency in this alignment. Every open door has a season. Opportunities do not remain available forever. When God prompts you to move, hesitation can cause you to miss the moment. Fear whispers, "Wait until you feel ready." But faith says, "Move when God says now." Readiness is rarely a feeling. It is a choice. Too often people wait for the perfect moment, not realizing that perfection never arrives. Conditions will always be imperfect. Timing will always seem inconvenient, and doubts will always linger. Yet, alignment requires action. A delayed decision can cost years of progress. Procrastination steals alignment by convincing you that tomorrow will be easier. But tomorrow is often the disguise of never. God's alignment demands urgency because destiny is not static. Every day you wait, a window shifts. Opportunities pass by. Relationships drift. Momentum slows. The alignment you feel pulling at your spirit is not meant to be admired from a distance, but to be acted upon in real time. When alignment is recognized and acted upon, something extraordinary happens. The broken pieces of your past suddenly make sense. The closed doors no longer feel like punishments. The people who entered your life unexpectedly become clear markers of God's hand. The waiting seasons reveal themselves as refining fires. The wealth and resources that arrive are no longer overwhelming, but perfectly suited to the person you have become. Alignment is about trust. Trust that God's breaking is building. Trust that His connections are divine. Trust that His timing is perfect. Trust that His preparation is wise. Trust that His urgency is for your good. Every piece, whether painful or joyful, is converging into a larger design you cannot yet see. Every piece of your life is not random. It is not wasted. It is being aligned by the hand of God for something greater than you can see right now. The breaking, the connections, the waiting, the preparation, the opportunities, none of it has been in vain. This is your reminder. Do not stop, do not doubt, and do not delay. The alignment is already in motion, and your obedience is the key that unlocks the door. Step boldly into the season God has prepared, and watch as every scattered piece forms a masterpiece of abundance, purpose, and victory.